Hi guys, I'm Dan at vintagevelo.org, and today, well, I did say I would do it. I'm going to have a crack at a regular Strava KOM segment on, yep, the 100-year-old antique bike. Now, a few weeks ago, we did the 100-kilometer challenge on this, mostly in preparation for the Oika coming up in a few weeks' time, and it did get me thinking. I wonder how fast this would or wouldn't be on a Strava KOM segment that we put the Pantani Bianchi and the 63 Legnano through last year. If you remember, we took the KOM on the Pantani Bianchi and we're a few seconds behind on the Legnano. How this one will fare? Well, that's a different question. Now, we'll come on to some tech in a moment, but we have changed that rear hub. So at least now I have 3 gears that kind of work, but I'm still spectacularly under-geared for most road riding. It's definitely geared with those Tuscan hills in mind, where we hit ramps of like 15, 16, 17%. So you need low gearing for that. So out here on the roads, it's kind of a bit like, you know, going for an 18-round golf game with only your pitching wedge and a putter. So, you know, you're definitely going into this with the hands a bit tied behind my back, but we'll see how it goes. You know, legs are legs. Also, I'm not planning on getting out of the saddle. I've only got Christoph mini clips on, and there's not a lot of holding my feet in. And if I'm honest, I'm just not that confident to be getting out of the saddle on a full power splurge. So my plan is to stay seated and give it what I can. Now, just a quick report on the tech, or lack of it, with the bike here. Now, since we did the 100-kilometer ride on the 100-year-old bike, we had a lot of problems with that original K-hub. Sturmey Archer were making those from like 1907 onwards. So I have swapped out the whole rear wheel here for another 3-speed. This is a slightly later AW hub, stainless steel spokes, steel rim, still 26.5 inch, or whatever it is, on the rim there. So the same tyres went back on there, so that's all good, except now I have 3 speeds and they don't jump out, and I can change gear a lot better. But also what it meant was I could use a more modern gear. The actual chainring is different on the later ones. The very early ones are very hard to swap out, so I've been able to go up to a 24 on the back here, which is great. It'll be perfect for Eroica and the hills around there. It's gonna be a lot tougher on the KOM because, again, I do not have enough gears for high speed, so it's all going to be a bit of a challenge. So some of you may remember the Bois Barré Strava Climb out here in the south of France. We did it last year, first off on the Pantani Bianchi, then we repeated it for comparisons on the 63 Legnano. So I thought, hey, I'm pretty sure it's not been done before. Let's put an antique bike on that same Strava Climb, and then we get to compare times. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Now, first things first, the Bois Barré climb, it's about 1.5 kilometers long, 6-7% average, something around there, and it's got a nice hill leading into it. So what you want is a lot of speed going in and then try and carry it through. But I have absolutely no top end gearing, so I'm going to be carrying no speed whatsoever. What I have is a lot of low end gearing, all 3 of them, and they will be very useful in Eroica, but on the roads here, not a lot of use. But when you think it's either a 3-speed or a flip-flop hub, which is effectively single speed, because who wants to get off and change their hub in them just before a climb? It's not going to happen. You know, we've got what we've got, and I'm just going to work with that. Now, excuses straight off the bat. I am recovering from man flu. I know. A few days ago, it was a close run thing, but others may call it a common cold. But guys, we know how tough that is. And my energy only started returning yesterday, and in true fashion, I thought, let's get out and do this. But I've been on the road 3/4 an hour, and I'm nowhere near the climb yet. So what energy I had, I'm burning through pretty quick. Plus the bike itself, lightweight for the time, Ackles and Pollock tube set, very high end, but we come in about 12.5 kilo, so no lightweight. And the tyres, because they are old school hookless rims. They're inflated to the maximum 50 psi. Can't go any higher in case they blow off. So, you know, it's very comfy, but it's really not set for a Strava KOM attempt. You know, I'd much rather be at 100, 110 psi, but that can't happen. But who knows? It's coming up soon. When I get near, pulling those goggles down, getting down as low as I can, and as long as it doesn't fall apart on me, the rest, who knows? Okay, so it's just up ahead here. I've got a little decline to get down. So in a moment, I'm going to spin this up to about 130 RPM on the cadence, flat out, try and carry some speed, then we go. So here we are. Go like a track sprinter on the cadence. Right. Well, I'm not going to get this thing going any faster than that. Just starting to flatten out now, but there's still no point in pushing anything because I haven't got the cadence. Here we go. Right. I'm still on the drops. The glide proper's just coming up, which is a bit scary because I already feel like I've already put in some effort. Here we go. So I'm coming up on the hoods or equivalent. There's no hoods, obviously. I can really feel the spongy tyres. Not good. Now, I could change or I could tough it out. I think I'm gonna tough it out. Yeah, breathing's getting hard. But if I change, I'm gonna spin. Come on. Oh man, the smoke. Come on. Diesel. Black. Horrible smoke. Okay. It's coming on. Now, a bit more cadence. Come on. Oh, lungs now burning. Come on. Why won't it end? Come on. Ah, it really hurts. Well, managed to survive that Strava attempt there, despite the help of the blue smoke being poured out the back of that big truck halfway up the climb. That maybe less nice. The good thing is the bike also survived, which was great. That was a full bore attempt there. Results. Obviously it was slower. I gave 20 seconds to the Legnano on that climb. However, I also gave almost 15-18 kilometers an hour slower on the way in because I just didn't have the gears. That's a big chunk of change when it comes to carrying speed going up a climb. So, you know, what it comes down to is its gearing. It's incredible the difference in technology, even the 35 years between this late 20s Russ English 3-speed and an early 50s Campagnolo 10-speed setup Legnano. Colossal difference in tech and weight. Now, one thing I did notice when I was going through the Strava segment details, some local Frenchie has nabbed my KOM. To be fair, it was him and two buddies that took it, and it was a very good ride. They did 144 kilometers and they were averaging 33 kilometers an hour throughout. But by the looks of the details, his two buddies led him out and peeled off because they didn't beat my time. But he took my time by 12 seconds, which is, you know, certainly quite a margin. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for me to take that one back, but you know me, obviously we have to have a go at taking that back. I do have a superbike in mind. Quiet car. I do have a superbike in mind to try and take that challenge back. I meant to bring it out this year. I haven't done yet, but I'm going to make a point. If I don't do it this year, I'll do it early next year. But we are going to get back on that Strava segment, and we are going to give it the full gas and see if we can't take that 12 seconds back. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. Next time you see this bike, it will be in Tuscany in Italy, in Oreca, and we'll see how it fares on that Strada Bianchi. But in the meantime, do like and subscribe for anything else that's cool to do with vintage bikes. Thanks a lot.